voter registration. If you could see the numbers right now in this county alone, you would be frightened beyond compare. We must vote. And in order to vote, we must register. And we must register 100,000 people in this state alone. So our work is cut out for us. If you don't know the status of your vote by mail, chances are it was canceled because vote by mail ballots were canceled at the end of last year. Don't forget, you live in a voter suppression state. I'm with an organization called Voices United, and we are an activist and organizing group.
This is what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. There's some steps that we got to remember that we have to do. First of all, people come up to and say, what do we do? Stay informed. I know it's hard to watch the news, but stay informed. Whatever sources you trust, find reliable sources, and pay attention to what is happening. Show up. Without the right to vote, we have no seat at the table where laws are made and shaped. Vote every single time in every single election. Thank you.
But what's important to veterans, let me leave you with this thought. What's important to us is that you do your part. 33% of Americans do not vote. 33% of Americans do not vote. And when we don't vote, the extremists are going to take over and they're going to take our democracy. They're going to take your right to vote, and let's not forget that. We need to teach our children to vote. We need to make sure that all that are around us understand the importance of voting. And I'll leave you with that. If you want to thank a veteran, tell them you voted and you will be thanked back. Thank you very much.
The average young person is cynical, hopeless. They feel left behind by the political process because they are. Young people don't vote because no one listens to them, and no one listens to them because young people don't vote. It is a deadly cycle. And I know that it is with the hard work of involved people like you that we can fix that. There are so many people at Indivisibles, with 5051, with Florida Valkyries, even with the Florida Democratic Party that put a great deal of work into making sure that young people are registered to vote and prepared to make their voices heard. Because that is the only way that young people will take back this country from a gerontocracy that is concerned with enriching itself at the expense of the next generation. I was working full-time making sure that people are registered on the breezeway, talking with frat boys, sorority girls, and commuter students to ensure that they're informed about American politics, what's going on today, how it affects them, and how that is going to influence their vote in November. I must have registered hundreds of students to vote, and I had a great team of volunteers and other employees by my side to do it. On Election Day, I am so incredibly proud that the voter precincts at FAU and UF both achieved over 100% turnout because of all the students who had moved in from out of state and cast provisional ballots. They were able to make their voices heard right here in the state of Florida because there are young people organizing, working hard, registering voters, making sure that young people are prepared to fight back against this government. Because for the next few years, what are you going to do? I want to make sure that you are talking to the young people in their life, making sure that they know that they have to be registered to vote. And get on that stuff early, especially if you're in Florida, because our governor has a habit of throwing out voter registration. So stay on it, get registered early, make sure your kids, your cousins, your nieces, your nephews are registered and they stay registered. We have a free country. And the only way to protect your rights and freedoms is to keep using them. Thank you.
Do you all feel inspired by that now? The first time I met this young man, I said that we, as a collective, would stand shoulder to shoulder with him at any point to engage voters and get people out to change this shit show.
Justice starts with your vote, and then it walks, it runs, it marches to every room where decisions are made about our bodies, about our neighborhoods, about our schools, our healthcare, our families, our country, our lives. Rooms like your city council, your county commission, your school board, all the way up to Tallahassee, onwards to DC, and hell, right back down to your HOA. You start somewhere, you go anywhere, you be everywhere. Democracy dies in darkness and in silence. And so you show up bright and you show up loud. Can you let me see how loud you're gonna get? Show me what democracy looks like. Show me what democracy looks like. Show me what democracy looks like. Then show me what democracy looks like. That's right. That is what this moment calls for. Thanks, y'all.
Because while the world burns, your neighborhood does too. I need you to vote locally. But I'm asking you to get involved. Get involved.
That is the message we want to share today. Do you all feel inspired right now? Do you feel like you're ready to fight right now? Do you feel like you've been reactivated right now? That's how we do it. If I leave you with nothing else, register to vote. Thank you all. Are a group really of organizers and activists. Is that enough to start? Are the voices being heard? Is the message getting delivered someplace?
It's absolutely enough to start, right? Look, 2 people is enough to start, right? 2 people with a like mind who want to see change. But, you know, movements have to grow. You've got to get out there. One of the things, particularly in red areas, that we found, how often we're knocking on doors and, you know, these would be dem lists, and, you know, someone would say, I can't believe you came to my neighborhood. I'm the only Democrat that lives here. And I'd just like turn my phone around or minivan. I'd be like, actually, you have 18 Democrats on your street. They'd be like, no, because they feel like they're just overwhelmed by the Trump flags and the MAGA, and they're like in hiding. And just knowing that, oh my God, there are other Democrats on this street, there are other people, I'm not alone, right, can help get them out and make them feel safe to engage and publicly take action and speak to other people in their community. So we need to be going out and emboldening people. We need to be engaging people, whether it's going to their doors, whether it's, you know, having these public protests or events today, whether it's setting up socials or events, whether it's having town halls. We need to be creating opportunities and spaces for people to engage and get together, and that is how we build. And we have 18 months to build this thing as large as possible, because we ultimately need 4 million votes in November of 2026 to take back this state.
What's the future hold?
I did keep my campaign team together. We, depending on when you see this, around mid-June, we will be formally announcing a statewide campaign for U.S. Senate. So we are finalizing the details now. We're getting the paperwork together and organizing, but within the next 15 days from now, which is important for FEC reasons and allows me to say it, we will have filed and declared to run for U.S. Senate here.
You'll
in
be seeing
Florida.
this after the 22nd, so.
Then I've already run. I am currently filed and running for U.S. Senate.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And thank you
You're
for
best.
being here. Bye.